We are at the day 2 of the World Economic Forum, and we're starting the day with a bang because we've got a really big voice with us. Morten Wierod, he's the global CEO of ABB, and with us out here at the WEF to talk about how does he see growth in a fragmented world, if you will, in the Trump 2.0 era as well. And it's suffice to say, with that, with geopolitics, with China's stimulus and all of the factors, Morten, uncertainty will probably dominate 2025. Would that be a fair assumption?
It is. But that's, on the other hand, that is what we've been used to, going from crisis and uncertainties. I think that's kind of just what we're used to these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But so how do you map global growth, let's say, for not just 2025 maybe, but maybe for the next couple of years, if it's even remotely possible to predict something like that? And because I think how the world does in terms of growth will play a large part in what large corporations like yours do in terms of growth as well, right?
No, I'm very positive when it comes to the outlook, especially for our own business at ABB, because we are in the trends of the electrification of everything, the energy transition, but also helping decarbonization of industry. So for us, those are growth drivers. But if you look at the global picture, I think also we will see the growth pattern of the last couple of years will continue, but even probably a step up rather than a step down. So I'm optimistic on nature, but I'm pretty optimistic also for the coming years. We're seeing large economies, I mean, in the United States, of course, being the growth engine of the world, but also India is really kind of pushing up the ladder now from fifth, soon probably will be the third largest economy in the world. And China, of course, is a question mark how that will run, but I also know with the stimulus packages of China and how they need to get growth going again, I think we will also see stronger measures, and I do believe that we will see a stronger China also in the coming 2-3 years.
Yeah, I think this morning as well, they've announced some stimulus measures coming in. But so that's the question. So US may do very well. India, currently not the best of growth, but one would reckon that it will come back because there were idiosyncratic factors impacting the first half. But the first question is around the 2 or 3 engines which aren't quite growing the way we've seen them in the past, right? Europe, not quite out there, even if specific countries like Spain, Greece, etc. might be doing well in 2024. But overall, Europe isn't firing on all cylinders. China is a bit of a black box as well. And if the tariffs from the Trump 2.0 era come into being, then we don't quite know what kind of impact it will have on growth at large. So are there large question marks, or do you think that Trump, being a businessman, would want growth first, and therefore world growth might not be a question in the next 12 months?
No, I think that will, because there will be growth in the United States, but also the counter, so to say, that Europe needs to work on their own competitiveness to be able to expand the European market. It has to be a counterbalance to this, and that's how I see it, that it's not only about US and tariffs. On the other hand, also with tariffs has driven more and more of these investment locally. We see that today for our company, but I look at that all kind of across the board in the industries. You are getting more and more regionalized, or what we in ABB call local for local. That means we have our supply close to the demand. So we serve the customers in their home market or at their home turf. So that's why you see a lot of capital investment in the United States and North America, but also in India, which are the 2 major markets, and a lot of the Asian economies. So that is how you will see also, and that continues, and that's not just for ABB. I think this is in general how it is, how you deal with tariffs, and therefore it's important that each of these economies also get their own consumption and their own growth up. So I think you will see that also in Europe now in the coming years, where kind of it's at a point of time where European leaders, and we had that discussion also here in World Economic Forum, about how can European competitiveness, but also the European home market become more attractive because the kind of the foundation is here. Its talents are still here in Europe. There's good education, so access, kind of and quality of life is there. But then it's about how to run a successful business in Europe has become more challenges due to a lot of regulations, a lot of good intentions behind, but the outcome when we put everything together, it's just being tougher to run a business. I think that's one of the main challenges that Europe and the European Union has to deal with now in the next coming years to see growth really coming back like we've seen in other markets.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, the other aspect, I mean, aside of the Trump presidency, the other big talking point in the last 24 to 36 hours that I've spoken to people is AI and the implementation of that and how it will help corporates increase throughput, output, what have you, if you're a manufacturing firm or services firm, so on and so forth. So because you are B2B as well, I would love to understand, one, AI for ABB as a corporation, you know, you're a giant per se, and AI practices for ABB to help its customers. I mean, how is that progressing, and do you think it'll have a far-reaching impact in the decade to come?
Yeah, I think AI will change how we operate, how we do business. I mean, it will change us also societies, not always in a good way. I see a lot of also risks and potential dangers with the use of AI, I mean, especially in the form of media. But if you look at going back to the kind of what does it mean for us as a company, it is very much, first of all, it's a great business opportunities, because with all the AI investments ongoing, that means there needs lots of new data centers. And that is what really drives the business for us, especially in our electrification business. A few years ago, it was only like 2-3% of our overall electrification business. Last year, it was 12% of the order intake. This year, it's 15%. So this is growing, and the whole overall business is growing very well. We're talking about around year to date, after 3 quarters, about 7-8%. And now we're talking about something that is, as I say, growing at a much higher pace than that. So this is a great business opportunity. That's kind of the starting point for us. But then we are also using it internally to run, say, how can we become leaner internally? That means drive efficiency in the company, because a lot of the new AI tools will help us to just support our own employees better, even with, if that be chatbots, you know, how you get access to information, and how you can make our own team better salespeople in front of customers, because they have access to information much faster and much better, and you can impress the customer. And the next step is, of course, how we can help our customers when we are integrating AI into products, systems, or our whole service and software offering. When you do that, that makes our customers more productive. That could be in the marine sector, where we're using AI as part of the navigation tools, that it's faster to go to and get to port. You know how you kind of park the ship at the harbor, but then you're going to empty that container ship, and there we have AI used now also in the crane controls, so that you can empty and fill a container ship faster than what you could before. Just practical examples of AI which drives efficiency at the customer side, so make our customers more productive and make them more competitive in their home and their space.
Thank you so much for your time, Morten. Really a pleasure talking to you, and have a fabulous remainder of the WEF.
Thank you so much.
Yep, no, the pleasure was ours, and viewers, thanks for tuning in.